Welcome to Season 3 of sNAPAshots, conversations with practicing professional and applied anthropologists. Let's meet our next guest.
Hi, my name is Dr. Anahid Matossian. I am a lead technical advisor for the U.S. State Department. I'm a gender advisor, and I also work on atrocity prevention.
How did you get interested in anthropology?
I would say it started from my second year of college. So I guess that would be sophomore year, just sitting in a classroom and listening to my professor talk about how he was able to go to Brazil and go to random villages and interview people. And I thought I wanted to get paid to travel and talk to people. That was my primary motivation for pursuing anthropology. And I also wanted to add that I got into working on gender and security issues in particular because I grew up listening to family stories about fleeing from the Armenian genocide, Lebanese civil war, Syrian conflict. So I just felt like growing up hearing those stories around the kitchen table, and these were the nicest, warmest people you'll ever meet, and they've been through these horrible traumas. So I was interested in capturing their stories. So that's how I got introduced to oral history as well.
How has the anthropological perspective enhanced your contribution to your workplace?
The first thing I can think of is empathy. So I'm able, because I have these personal experiences growing up, I'm able to more carefully listen to what is being asked of us on the federal government level. It's really hard to separate the personal and the professional. And I have to check myself repeatedly to not be too involved or too emotional about topics, especially working on genocide or mass rapes, for example. You have to continually check yourself, find some kind of mental health resources, and just keep an open mind. But it has enhanced my contribution to my workplace by being able to be empathetic, being able to offer a hug if appropriate, whereas that was easier in graduate school where we didn't have a lot of restrictions as I do in the federal government. Whereas now it just means you're able to listen, you're able to try to understand the other perspective and use that to inform policy.
What types of challenges do you experience as a practicing anthropologist?
Something that's helped me working with all these different sectors within the security space is thinking about the background of my coworkers and trying to understand where they're coming from and communicating my background as well. So not being afraid of hiding my background at all. I've certainly faced challenges with my past work with the Marine Corps in some instances. Like my general team was extremely supportive, and they were comprised of Marine Corps officers and other fellow PhDs. So, we did face some obstacles with trying to get across why anthropology or gender is important and why you should pay attention to it and why it's relevant for the security space. And even now, I'm still having to, it is an uphill battle trying to explain why gender is important in the policy space. But there is more traction, and I only find that I get more traction by me putting aside my judgments and biases and being able to listen to them, because then they don't have a lot of ammunition against you. You can be like, I've really tried to understand where you're coming from. What are the key things we could all agree on, which is civilian security, which does have bipartisan support especially for women, peace, and security. And that has meant the same thing in the security space as well, in terms of the military. So I think that is how I've been able to use anthropology to tackle obstacles. But it certainly is not easy, and I don't want to make it seem like it is.
What skills do you use as an anthropologist?
So my day-to-day work focuses a lot on interagency policy coordination. So it's a lot of sitting in on meetings and shooting emails to the people who need to get those emails. But there are times where I'm able to go on assessments for law enforcement assessments and look at the criminal justice system for in different countries that we support. I won't name them here, but and see where anthropology plays a role, especially in terms of gender security. So seeing how criminal justice systems both support or work against gender-based violence or actually perpetuate gender-based violence. So my anthropological skills included a lot of background research into why criminal justice systems are the way they are. It requires trying to understand the background of those criminal justice systems and how it informs the present criminal justice systems. So background research, basic diving into knowing what kind of resources to delve into, and as well as interview skills certainly came into focus with that, especially working with, this is something that I realized doing assessments working for the federal government, is I realized that there is a dichotomy between working as a practitioner for the federal government and also the ability that I had as a graduate student. So as a graduate student doing field research, I was able to ask basically almost any question I wanted. I was able to work with Syrian refugee women in more intimate spaces and hug them if they needed to cry and just be in a more emotional space. Whereas now I have a formal official role to play, and you can't be that emotional. You have to kind of keep an arm's length away from people. But my interview skills also came into focus, especially working with vulnerable populations, because I had like a decade of experience conducting interviews with vulnerable populations. So that really prepared me. And also being the only female on the team, I think it helped set me up for success in a way that my male colleagues, even though they were extremely supportive and helpful, they weren't able to access the same data in the way that I was.
Was there a moment that changed the way you practiced anthropology?
I think it would be after working with the Marine Corps and learning how to change, read the environment better. Like it changed the way I walked, the way I dressed. There were times where I felt like I had to change myself in order to fit in, but there were also times where I learned how to own who I was and see the value of working in this environment, find key allies that I could work with. And I want to reiterate that most people I worked with, I really had a wonderful experience with them. So I think that pivotal moment where, especially for a woman working in the space, it is a hard balance it's a hard way to toe the line between being yourself and what you believe in, and also trying to fit in as well. That was a pivotal moment for me, was learning how to be independent and also toe the line between coming in as an expert and also not diminishing yourself and diminishing your expertise. So it's a work in progress for me.
What advice would you like to pass on to future anthropologists seeking roles in professional fields?
Yeah, I also want to add in a point that I'm a neurodivergent anthropologist. I have ADHD, and it is something that has been continuously repressed or told that I can't succeed with that. So I think something I want to encourage, particularly for neurodivergent anthropologists, that you can. And for everyone as well, I want to add that if you follow your passions, as cheesy as it sounds, like you're able to find jobs that genuinely interest you. Like this current job, I couldn't be happier working on this topic, even though it is super depressing at times and you need mental health breaks. Like for me, that would be hiking or spending time outside. And another point I want to add is the value of networking. Like a former professor of mine was Ryle Nolan at Purdue, and he gave really impressive and important advice about not being afraid to reach out to people, to find informational interviews. Like that's a skill that you will have the rest of your life. And it's a skill that I'm needing now as well. And I want to give an example that by networking with someone on LinkedIn, I found another anthropologist working on gender and security issues. She now is a really good friend of mine in the DC area. And she also got me my second job actually working with the Marine Corps.
Thanks for sharing your experience as a practicing sociocultural anthropologist. For more SNAPAshots, find us at practicinganthropology.org, Meta, LinkedIn, and X.
So being open about that. And I'm sorry for your question again. I feel like I'm doing the opposite of what my advisor told me to do, which I think is actually a good thing. So by going against the advice, I'm able to succeed in terms of being flexible about different work environments, in terms of publishing my book, my dissertation into a book, in terms of just not holding back. Don't be afraid to reach out. Like, if anyone watches this and they're interested in talking to me, they're welcome to reach out. It's a resource that I wish I had when I was transitioning from academia to practice. And I would encourage other practitioners as well to embrace mentorship and talk to others. So don't be afraid to reach out. The worst that can happen is someone says, no, I don't want to talk to you, but I can tell you right now, I won't say no. So I encourage you to do that.